We imagined AI for decades. Today, it's already here. Faster, more precise, never tired. They don't doubt. They don't need sleep. They process thousands of transactions in real time, predict demand before the shelf goes empty, and flag every anomaly. In retail, the future is already here. But as the world accelerates, a truth remains. A store is more than just a system. It's a place where people come to feel seen, understood, and inspired. AI can recommend and execute. The machine optimizes the journey. The seller creates the desire. The most powerful force in retail isn't AI. It's your people, with AI behind them. Let AI handle the noise, so your teams can bring the meaning. That's not a compromise. That's a competitive advantage. At Cegid, we don't build AI that's led by your people, making you unstoppable. Are you ready for what's next? Welcome to Cegid Connections Retail.
Hi everyone, welcome here to this Cegid Connection Retail 26 here in Prague. Please give a round of applause for this technological prowess. Please, ladies and gentlemen, big applause for all the team. That's a technological advance. Look at them, they're really quiet, but we don't see a lot of emotions here. But I'll make sure that these are real, or whether they're real or not real robots. No, they're humans. We thought you were robots. Hi everyone, please welcome here. Thanks a lot. We'll get back to you soon, and we have all the pictures anyway. Well, not bad. Well, we really wanted to do this choreography, this dance, but Sylvain could not do the backflip. So maybe he was a little scared, I don't know. So hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here for this Cegid Connection Retail 2026. After Rome, we're now in Prague, all together again. Fred, we can say that we've been through quite a few CCRs so far. Yes, quite a few, and they've always been great. But Bruno, I think it's his first time here. Yes, you're right. Let me introduce you the CEO, Bruno Vaffier, CEO of Cegid Group. Hi, everyone. Well, I have to tell you something. Sometimes I think Bruno is a robot. Clients, execution, innovation, client. Well, I'm just kidding, you know. You've been here for almost 2 years, Bruno. So just a few words about Cegid. How about it? Well, it's great. Cegid is fine. We keep on investing on our products, our teams, our clients. What's our strength for years now? But before I go into details into that, I just wanted to share something with you. I've always been fascinated by retail, and in particular by the shop, because to me, A shop is a physical place where two worlds actually get to meet each other. A world of motion, experience, pleasure, dream, impulsion, that's the client part. But behind that, there's all the mechanic, the engineering behind that. Because for something to feel simple, you have to have sellers that are disciplined, like logistics, their linkage with e-commerce, um, all the shops that have to look the same worldwide at a given time, the cash register system that may be different and they should not. They have to be, consistent. So behind this experience, there's this machinery, highly complex, that should never stop and that works thanks to you. It's your daily routine. It's our daily routine. It's kind of this dream machine that we're really proud to, operate. And that's why we're really proud to work with you every day and to welcome you here for these 2 days. Well, you still haven't answered my question. No, sorry. But I just wanted to share this with you. And before we get to talk about innovation, um, I wanted to talk about you and share this little story. Now, Cegid. Cegid is fine. It's doing well. We have 1.2 billion sales this year. We're the second software company in France. We said yesterday that we have finally signed off the deal with Shine, not Sheen, Shine. Please don't get that wrong. But this acquisition is the result of a strategy that started like 15 months ago to revamp completely the company and to have it in line with our main markets, products, in order to focus on your needs, on the needs of our clients. And we have set things around 4 pillars. Uh, we'll take that Shine brand for the activity that's for SMEs and accounting activities. So we have a product line dedicated for that. The other three product lines that still operate under the Cegid brand are the finance products, ERP, treasury management, tax, etc. The HR product line, that is the payroll solutions, all the competence management solutions or HR management, and then of course retail. With something specific about the retail product line, which is that we are operating on a global scale with a global ambition. So this organization, or around these 4 product lines, is here to focus on our products and clients. This strategy is a long-term strategy. We invest in our products to feed our partnerships with us and to keep our growth going for the years to come. So this long-term strategy is something we share with the executive management and the group. It's also something we share with our shareholders and our board. You know that Silver Lake is our main shareholder. It's been so for 8 years, and they told us that they wanted to keep on working with us for a long time. So the whole thing is consistent with this long-term strategy. Do you want to talk about retails a bit now? Yes, of course. That's what we're here for. So I'm not going to tell you anything new. The context is hard, but we're lucky to have clients that trust us and that are confident in what we do. And in spite of this hard geopolitical context, we've been operating well. So if we have a look at what happened over the past few months, here are a few of the companies, French or non-French companies, that have joined us. So these are the members of the Cegid Retail family now. And projects are shorter, more agile now, but some already give us a very positive feedback. We also have a certain number of partners. So we have five partners that come from 4 countries: Spain, Italy, China, Mexico, that joined us. These are service and business partners for our clients, our prospects, and that can play a role in international projects depending on their local expertise. During the last CCR, we were asked to have more client testimonials. So we thought, great, let work for us. So we went and asked some of our clients to do so. And we're lucky to have today and tomorrow 7 of them that will come and share their testimonial. L'Occitane, Groupe Rocher, Orchestra, and another 15 have accepted to take part to some of our workshops. So big thanks for all of them. So we're going to talk about Cegid, about AI, because it's something you cannot do without today. So what's the Cegid strategy in terms of AI? Yeah, great. When we talk AI, we are convinced that the only AI that makes sense is a useful AI. It's an AI that is not going to be evolving around the product, but that's going to be integrated to the product. It's going to be in the workflow, in the processes. Today, technology, agentic AI, is ready to take up a certain number of tasks, to execute a certain number of tasks, for our sellers to be really part of our selling processes. So we say we want to run the last mile, the extra mile, thanks to the AI, to reach that operational level. So AI allows us to save time, to deal with segments of different processes. It allows us to go faster, to improve our relation with the customers. It allows everything to run smoothly. So I'm not saying that we're going to replace humans, even less so in activities like retail. It's all about helping our partners to have them not do repetitive tasks and to save time, and to only focus where the human actually have added value. So that's customer relation, creativity, the services that have a high added value, like advice or counseling. So that's what we want you to be able to achieve through our solutions, because we're convinced that that's where the key of AI lies. So when we try to share this vision of ours, some may think that it's a little too narrow a vision. It's totally wrong. We are convinced that this is the operational vision that's going to help us go forward. We are fully aware that AI is going to impact our lives in many, many, many areas. We don't fully grasp the extent of that, revolution. It's going to change political life, religion, every single aspect of our lives. Even the Pope is talking AI now. But my point is, coming back to our world, the business world and the retail, the revolution, AI revolution, is going to happen not from the top down, but from the bottom up, because every task of every collaborator within each process is going to be impacted by AI. So through this evolution of everybody's tasks, all businesses, all companies are going to be going through this revolution. And the revolution is going to impact the whole economic world. So to conclude on this point, something very important that I do share with Natalie and the teams, it's the fact that our teams have often heard us, talk about this. There's no such thing as a playbook or a user's manual There's no such thing. We will have to write it ourselves as we move forward down that road. Or in other words, we don't know where we're headed. We don't know the destination. AI today is not an objective. It's a path toward an objective. It's a journey to that objective. So in some way, we will discover everything together as we go transforming things. But this path, we'll be walking it together, and we really want to write this story with you. Well, thank you. So yes, you will get to see all the new things that our teams have developed, be that solutions in service, etc. There's going to be a lot of things around AI, but not only. We're not going to tell you everything right now, at least not me. The teams are going to do so very soon. Yes, we're not going to tell you everything. You will have surprises. So once again, a round of applause for Bruno Vaffier. Thank you, Nathalie, and we'll see you soon. Okay, so let's set the stage and talk retail and the trends with like a background question about AI. How does it impact markets and how ISDs are impacted? Why are these information system managers the architects of tomorrow? So let's welcome Yann Rivoon, the head of credit portfolio in France.
Vous allez bien?
You okay?
Est-ce que vous savez
Do you know that
qu'il n'y a que des héros?
there's only heroes gathered in this room today? You're all heroes. What's your name?
S'appelle
Abu.
Abou. On a
Big round of applause for Abu.
Abou, est-ce que
Are you
tu es
married,
marié?
Abu?
Abou est
Yes.
marié. Abou, est-ce que ta femme te dit
Does your wife tell you you're a hero? No.
non? Eh bien,
Well,
sache que
just so
après
you
cette
know,
présentation,
after this presentation,
si tu lui en parles tous les jours, elle
if
te
you
dira que
talk
tu
to
es
her
un
every day about this, she'll end up telling you
héros.
you're a
Sachez
hero.
pour
And
chacun
just be
d'entre
aware
vous,
that for every one of you
après
here,
cette
after this
présentation,
presentation,
quand vous aurez présenté ce que vous aurez
when you
découvert
will
aujourd'hui,
share what you've learned
votre
today,
dire
your
va savoir
executive
que
committee
chacun
will
d'entre vous
be aware
que
that
vous êtes
each and every single one of you here is a
parce
hero.
que ces dernières
Because
années,
over the past
vous
few
avez
years,
un,
you've
transformé
all
votre expérience
transformed
comme jamais.
your retail experience like never
Vous êtes
before.
en train de
You
préparer
are preparing
toutes vos
all your
boutiques
brands
aux révolutions futures
for
dont
the
on viendra
future
discuter un instant,
revolutions that we've
en
just
passant
mentioned
évidemment le
through
physique.
agentic retailing.
Et puis pour certains
And
d'entre
for
vous,
some of you,
vous allez même sauver
you
des
will
vies.
even get to save your
Parce que,
businesses.
oui, le
Because
contexte est
yes,
difficile,
e-commerce
vous
is
salariez
hard,
des
or the
personnes,
context
certains
is,
d'entre vous sont
and some of you
au fond,
are now
en train de
at the
tailler des
bottom of
carottes
the pit,
pour sauver
still
leur entreprise.
digging, trying to
Donc,
save
vous avez
their
raison,
business.
oui, vous êtes des
So
héros.
yes, you are heroes.
Et
And
j'ai la
I'm
chance,
lucky
en effet, de vous
to
accompagner. Vous accompagner parce que,
work with
je
you
vous avoue, il y a maintenant près de 20 ans,
because
j'ai lancé une société qui s'appelait
about
Superstore.
20 years ago, I
Et à
started a
cette
business
époque,
called The Other
quand je
Store
faisais tout le secteur
that
de la mode,
had
de la digitalisation,
digitalized
délégation
the
de
fashion
marque. Et donc,
industry
la création de sites, la
to
logistique, le
website
service client,
creation,
la
ads,
visibilité,
photos,
tous
etc.
ces métiers,
All
j'ai pu
these
l'opérer
activities,
avec
I've been able to
à
do
vos
that
côtés
with you
pour développer
to
toutes ces
develop
marques
all these
et
brands
lancer avec
and to
modernité
launch
e-commerce.
modestly
Désormais, je suis
e-commerce.
avec
Now,
vous, je
I'm
suis
with
avec
you
pour lutter
to
contre des géants et des plateformes
try
asiatiques comme
to
Chine,
fight
d'entreprises.
against platforms like Shein
Et
or
donc, la
Temu.
digitalisation
So
est partout.
digitalization is
Et je
everywhere,
vois
and
comment
I can
chacun
see
d'entre
how
vous,
every
vous êtes en train
single
de
one
se
of
battre au
you is
quotidien.
actually fighting
Parce
every
que
day because the
le
world
monde est
has
changé
changed
et pas
and
tout le
not
monde en profite.
always in the right way.
Alors, s'il vous plaît, ne taguez pas tous François
Please do not
Chouraki,
tag François Chouraki.
qui va être avec nous. On
We
voit
can
chacun
see
d'entre nous a
here
dans ses
that
boutiques, dans
we
son
all
réseau, des
have
fermetures.
shops that are closing.
On a un
We
niveau de
have
croissance
a
qui est en
vacancy
train de
rate
monter
that is
avec grand V, à une vitesse
rising
pour l'instant.
at a
On
never
a
seen before,
en
at a speed
moyenne
we never
à peu
saw
près
before.
10%
We have
de
about
clients,
12%
10%
vacancy rate, which is 12% of shops are empty in France and in Europe,
malheureusement.
and the rate is rising by the month.
Et donc,
So all of you is actually witnessing this transformation. It's a heavy trend, a deep one that's been operating for some years now. And it's quite simple to understand that when you step back a little bit. If we have a look at how retail was working about 25 years ago, we had 1% of the world population that could afford luxury brands, luxury products, only 1%. Then we had a few premium brands. We had a lot of mid-range brands, Camailleux, Koukaï, Naf Naf, all the brands that supplied, that operated in our city centers, etc. And after, there was like distribution sector that sold a huge part in terms of volume and sales. So that's a simple structure, like a pyramid-shaped structure, but that has completely changed. Now we have two poles where the digitalization of our sector has completely changed the structure of this pyramid. We have the luxury part that sucks in many of our clients, and now it's 10% of the world population that can afford to buy luxury brands. So we see the increase of our luxury brands over the past few years. We have many more clients, and some of these brands have had like a tremendous growth thanks to that. We've seen a lot of premium brands coming, and on the other hand, because thanks to the digital tools, we can have a look at all the price structure now. We see that there's been a reduction in margin, an increase in promotion, and some new brands coming in the market like Shein and Temu. And what matters here is that prices were really low. So we have to face this new competition structure. So the market is focusing on the middle range that are now suffering most. Still, there's room for being happy about a certain number of good news. First, in France, and that's why the French touch is important, the European fashion is strong. Many new brands like Longchamp, Amuse, Jacquemus, they have had impressive growth rates over the past few years. So digitalization has allowed them to reach such levels of growth. However, the market has been completely transformed, and it's just the beginning, because agentic commerce, or the bottom part of the latest diagram, is going to change. So far, having a look at all the prices takes some time. If it's an AI agent that does that, it's instant. So this move towards the bottom part of the pyramid is going to happen in terms of price, in part thanks to the LLMs. And once again, we are just starting this new battle, because we see that now 58% of consumers have looked for information using LLMs, and they have transformed their business model to do so. We have a retail traffic that's going to increase tremendously thanks to this information capacity. We have like 1,200% growth rates. You can't even imagine what that really means in shops. Hence, the need for some pragmatism that we mentioned before and that we'll have to grasp. And we will have a crazy market, a market that will reach $3 to $5 trillion. So all of this is going to deeply impact our daily life. This is going to happen along with other changes. In a shop, there's the human contact that matters. But are these three sellers in a shop, or are they on TikTok? Each of them is doing a new sale, not through influencers, but through IAs. And when you end up on a TikTok ad, well, we'll have to buy those products. Well, it's up to us to know how we're going to face this new competition. How are we going to transform and bring the consumer to quality products and to have our market evolve in the right way?
Without necessarily going into a dystopic environment.
Welcome back to the Gap. How those assorted tank tops work out for you?
We can all remember in the Minority Report film, we saw Tom Cruise is recognized through his pupil by the seller in the shop. Are we moving towards that? I don't know. What I am sure of is that firstly, in stores, human contact, smiles, looks will always be important because we humans ourselves, we need that contact. We need this human touch. So that will always be in place. We'll always have these dreamlike places which will last for centuries. It will always exist. But it will continue being transformed as well. And you've already started operating this. Alongside these major pillars, the third one is one that you've all built. All these services, which from now on will take place in our stores. Year after year, you've been setting these up. Click and collect, booking, and so on. These are all services that are key. They're not just services for services' sake. These are services, just like in the film Lucy, enable us to bring AI and humans together. Because that's where it all lies. We need to bring the best of technology and the best of humanity together for our own performance and for the benefit of our customers. And we know all these directions, this relationships built with customers, this omni-channel approach that we've been talking about for years, that has been slowly building. We're all working around customers to try and build a better service. But sometimes this is a hard thing to do. And we all know, we're amongst ourselves here, data is just like that. Completely fragmented for a lot of our brands. Sometimes we manage to bring it all together, but ultimately, we need to create something together. And that's our challenge. We need to bring all this data, which is fragmented, back together. And this is fundamental, not just for technical reasons or for managing flows on a daily basis. It's fundamental because in this bipolarized ecosystem, we can't have brands with a high level of service if we don't have a high level of emotion. This emotion sells. It's about the place, but also all the services that you produce through this omni-channel approach. We have this emotion of a simple approach when we go and pick up a packet from a store, for example. So all this premium approach happens through these services that we generate through an omni-channel approach. And that's what each of us here in this room has experienced. And the second point that's important is that in our daily lives, we're creating the future. Our daily work is in this efficiency that's going to be created by the agentic approach. So for each of us here, we need to create this new future, find these new channels which are going to shake up this omni-channel approach and the daily experience of our customers when they're looking for a product. So I have some good news for you here. It's the same job. To be successful in the past and in the present, and if we are so, our future with agentic commerce will be successful. And to do that, we need you. It's about all your beating hearts that are going to have a strong role in the present, but also a very positive future. And to do this, I'd like to suggest 3 priorities. Firstly, to think about the present. And that means not going in every direction, but building our foundations. We shouldn't be building on something which is not stable. We want to have unified stocks, of course. We want to have structured data. And of course, anybody can be a coder nowadays. But should everybody be coding? Not necessarily. We need to have clean code to work as a team so that we can build these solid foundations for the future. So the second priority, this future of agentic trade. And one of those solutions is found in APIs, so that we can be more powerful, more connected, and to have data which can be read by machines. On a daily basis, we communicate orally. When we write everything down, it's much more powerful. And we need to open up all our data so that machines can interpret that and create this new style of commerce. And the third priority now is all about humans, because it will be based on our humanity, our sales teams that use their incredible powers of agentic sales to be able to become extraordinary sales teams. And these new powers that we'll have through these tools will enable the teams in real time to have an extraordinary relationship with their customers that we can't even imagine for now. It's a bit like every one of us. If we get into our cars and we don't have the level of fuel in the tank or the speed, we need to have that real-time information to be able to be successful and to transform the market. And this transformation will be based on a vision that we need to build. This vision is not a 10-year vision, because in 10 years' time, I have no idea what will be happening. No idea. It's maybe the first time in my life as an entrepreneur that it's been the case. I have no idea what's going to happen in 10 years' time. Let's be more modest. Let's build the future for in 1 year's time. What are our 3 pillars for a year's time to build this new style of commerce? I'd like to give you 3 simple ideas for this. The first one is to have teams that are data literate. They can challenge data. Instinct to help us move forward. And the relationship with all our tools and LLMs enables us to have teams that can create business based on all the different indicators. Internally, in-house, we need to have teams that can centralize data, because it's even more important now. And associate that with the strength of AI so that we can destroy 1-year roadmaps and build them for 1 month. And creativity will be the heart of that. When we have powerful tools, what sets us all apart? It's creativity alongside that. So this creativity, for example, in prompting, through our experience, our culture, our ability to interact with machines, will enable us to have such creative prompts that we will come up with even more creative ideas. Creativity is what's going to enable us to build a type of commerce which we can't even imagine yet. Because from now on, we're going to be reinventing new giants. Let's take, say, 15 years ago, this creator here, Morgan Zilawi. She had a great idea to start up a brand on Instagram, a small one called Cézanne. So she set up this brand and she set off in the lift of social media. She started with nothing and now she's worth 1 billion. Who would have imagined that thanks to technological transformation, you could create such a profitable global brand so quickly? And she did this because she was supported by technical innovation, transformation of that brand to the stars. And in addition to the turnover and reputation, she's completely reinvented commerce. How can we have such an amazing presence on Instagram and have stores in such out-of-the-way places? How can we reinvent packaging in our relationship with products? Well, she did that. And she did it well. That's her strength of reinventing things. And that's our challenge now for the coming years. So here in this room, who's going to be Hulk? Who's going to be Captain America? Who's going to be Scarlett Johansson? Who's going to be there to reinvent these brands, to fight these platforms, to create strong retail, to have stores open everywhere? Who's going to create the brands of the future? I know, it's you. You're the heroes. You're going to create all of this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jan. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Strange. So let's move on. Natalie, as she said in the introduction, that following the last Cegid Retail event, you wanted to give the floor to our customers, and that's what we're going to do. So Natalie, come here, and we would like to welcome now the Chief Information Officer at Orchestra, Mr. Pinault, Bastien Pinault. Let's sit down here. Thank you very much, Bastien, for being here with us. Jan has talked to us about the difficulty in the sector, the pyramid, which has completely changed shape. Orchestra, if I may, has come a long way. Can you tell us where you're at today? Yes, we've had some difficult years, but for the last 5 years, we've been growing throughout the country. So it's a positive result. We have a commercial dynamic which is positive everywhere, in our own shops, in our affiliate shops, through our price positioning, the club that we have, omni-channel approach, and the one-stop shopping approach that we've implemented. So we'll talk about the club a bit later on, because you've managed to talk about integrating SaaS, and we'll talk about that later too, but you are a long-standing customer of ours, and you started with an old version that we had of on-prem. And I think it'd be interesting for you to tell us about your interesting migration to the cloud. Yes, of course. So it was a very ambitious project for us, very well prepared. So we were using an old version called CBR version 11. And we decided 3 years ago, on the 1st of May, which made it a bit problematic because it was Labor Day. And we decided to move to V23 version. And we did that in 8 countries at the same time, and for 1,500 checkouts over a weekend. We started on the Saturday. We closed the CBR. We carried out the migration on a technical level, which comes back to what Jan was saying about APIs and so on. And the next morning, We rebooted for the Cegid SaaS in all the different countries. And the next day, we rolled it out everywhere. And the day after that, 1,500 checkouts in 8 countries. It was rollout. And we had a big bang operation, like you said. That's what we chose to do. I think the Cegid teams may remember this. And we decided to do a controlled big bang approach because we wanted to work on this with all the teams together. And we had quite a complex situation, which meant that we had to do it all in one go. So we had 3 phases for this project. The first one, which was setting the scene at orchestra. Then we had a joint phase working with Cegid. And then we put it in place together. So it was quite a significant project for us. It was about a year, I think it took to work through that. I'm not going to lie to you. There were 3 major scenarios that we planned to make sure that it was going to reboot properly, to deal with any problems that could have happened. There were highs and lows, but that's what a major project like that is like. Yeah, we had a lot of go, no-go meetings as well with the big boss of orchestra. Sorry, Natalie, I'm sorry. I think Yves Rocher was meant to be here today as well, right? Stanislas, yes. Is he in the room, Stanislas? No, he's not here. We don't know where he is. We'll try and get hold of him, I think. That's the problem with live performance. Stanislas, where are you? Where are you? Hello? Where are you, Stanislas? I'm not in my room. I'm going to show you where I am. I'm in the Yves Rocher store, which is right next door. Right next door to the convention center. Great timing. We're currently rolling out our Y2 in Poland and in the Czech Republic. So 114 shops, a lot of pressure, 200 checkouts. So it's going quite well for now. What great timing. Maybe you can come and join us then? Yes, I will. Let me just show you this wonderful, wonderful image here. It's not far away. And while you're waiting for me, have a look at this film about our group's values. Okay, this was actually live. It wasn't recorded. He's in the store, which is only 300 meters away, so he's on his way. So in the meantime, we're going to watch a video by the Yves Rocher Group. So I would like the product which will take away my wrinkles, please. 31% less. Lovely. Bastien, then. We're waiting for Stanislas to join us. We're going to talk about Cegid solutions now, because at Orchestra, you use 3 different Cegid solutions. Inventory tracking, store excellence, and store performance. I think you're quite a big fan of 2 of them, Store X and Store Performance. Well, fan's a bit of a big word. I'm more of an outdoor pursuits person, but they're very liked applications with us. We can see it on the screen there. Yeah, Olga likes it very much. Olga is Orchestra's merchandising team leader, and we'll be talking about this later. in terms of her experience rollout. And this is a tool that enables us to transform our relationship between the store and the central services. So we could centralize all our communications. We have no more emails, everything goes through that. It's quite a simple product to set up. It's easy to use. We've rolled it out on all our devices now. We started the AI part a few weeks ago for the translation side of things. Because as we work in different countries, we use AI for the translation services. And it simplifies our communications. Thank you very much. And the second one is store performance module. I use it a lot. It shouldn't really be me using it, but it's a very practical tool. I look at all the figures all day long. And it's a product which is very suited to different people. It could be people in stores who want to have a flash report of what the situation is, or if you want to take a deep dive into the analysis of the segment or a product or market, it's really well suited to all sorts of different profiles and very, very powerful tool. And you work closely with Cegid still, and you've been helping us to work on new tools as well. You are running a pilot project on something called Cegid Live Cloud Dashboard. What is it? That's really my tool. And it's free of charge. For now. For now it is in any case. It is free, I promise it's free. So this is a very practical tool for us in the IT department because it enables us to monitor all the dashboards for the network, and I use it on a daily basis, and you can see the photograph there of me using it. And it helps you to track all the overall situation, and it's something that we didn't have before. This gives us a very comprehensive background to see where we're at, what the problems are that are coming up, or the issues, because we can now integrate all our different systems here so that we can get an overview of the situation. And I don't know whether Gian is in the room, but thank you. There've been a lot of updates, and I think just last week there was a new version that came out. So it's a really, really useful tool for IT operations. Thank you very much. I think Stanislav has arrived now. So, Stanislas, if there's a problem with the rollout, we have a lot of people here. I don't know who chose this date and this place, but incredible timing. The first 2 stores in the Czech Republic are live since this morning. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it was about an hour ago, and everything's going fine. You were saying Czech Republic, Poland, but if we take a step back, what else have we done together? 6 rollouts, France, 650 shops, Belgium, 85, Spain, 120 shops, Italy, 110. So yeah, that's quite a significant number. And after that, so we wanted to move on with Romania. So we're waiting for you on that one, so we can do our rollout. I knew he was going to say that. Romania is a country package. And if you're waiting for Romania, maybe we'll be able to revise our roadmap on that. I don't know. Anyway, then after that, Morocco and Canada. So that's in our future roadmap in any case. So there are 2 specific business features. Bastien talked to us about the club. Can you tell us more about the club? So the club is a bit like Orchestra's identity. It's a loyalty program which gives significant discounts on different products. It could be 20% to 50% depending on the product. 95% of our customers have this loyalty card. It's a subscription, if you like, so there is a cost. And we have two different prices everywhere because of that. So it's a complex pricing system to manage, different promotional codes and so on, but it's managed very well. So we don't have any issues with it. Apart from with promotions, we have 10 or so promotions, and I'm sure it's less complicated than Stanislav's situation, but that's what it looks like. So that's for repeat business. Anyway, Stanislas now at Yves Rocher. You invented the concept, didn't you? So we come from AVPC in terms of customer insights, a lot of promotions. So we know our customers well, we personalize our offers. And in terms of IT, that makes it a very overly complicated situation. Thank you very much for this testimonial of a complicated situation, but I hope that I can talk about a few figures now. In France, I think you have 8 million customers, 8 to 9 million, I think. 600 promotions constantly in play every day. It's difficult to move away from a model like that. It takes time. It's a very embedded system. And with these significant figures we're talking about here in volume, we have regular meetings between our two teams to deal with that. And live store in all of that, my friends, what's that about? Well, we will need to delve into that at some point. We had that with CBR, and we're struggling a little bit to move towards that in terms of all the new features, but we'll have to move to that at some point. We're currently preparing a proof of concept of queue boosting so that we can take our first steps there. It'll be a bit of a change for us, and yeah, we're looking at that very closely in any case. What about Yves Rocher? As you've understood, with our personalized offers, we have two different contexts in the live store. The first one, we went very quickly in Spain with 30 or so stores. In the Czech Republic will be next. And it's all happening very quickly. And when we have France, there we're hoping to roll it out in 50 or so stores between now and the end of the year. And we need to bring on board 3 aspects: loyalty, our personalized offers, and netting payment. And I'd like to send out a call here for those people who've used it to thank the Rocher Group, who's going to open the way for everybody else to follow. Thank you very much. So, for the next connections, maybe you can come back and tell us about your experience in France. But in the room, we have somebody who uses Live Store, I think. No, we have lots of clients who use Live Store. And one in particular, we have Abu Bekali, is the CIO of L'Occitane, who's here, and he's going to tell us about his experience.
From a single Provençal market stall to a presence in more than 90 countries, the journey of L'Occitane en Provence has been remarkable. Today, with more than 3,000 stores, 100 spas and 2,500 partner hotels worldwide. Founded in 1976 by eco-pioneer Olivier Bausson, the story began with a simple ambition: to distill the essence of rosemary and celebrate the natural treasures of Provence. When Reynaud Geiger joined the adventure, he shared Bausson's belief that nature and business can grow together, guiding the brand from local success to an international maison. After early growth across Europe, the 1990s marked a new chapter with the opening of a flagship boutique in New York. It signaled a quiet revolution in beauty. Rather than relying on wholesale alone, L'Occitane en Provence began creating beautifully designed boutiques in the heart of cities, inspired by the colours and architecture of Provence and built on direct relationships with customers. This success paved the way for diversification and the creation of the L'Occitane Group, a family of premium brands united by entrepreneurship, authenticity, and a shared belief in positive beauty. You are at the heart of this story. The adventure continues.
Voilà, magnifique. Salut à vous.
Hi, everyone.
Je crois que c'est ton premier
I think it's
colloque,
your first CCR. Yes, and I'm right on stage.
Le Grand
So
Bain.
it's the big dive.
Magnifique ce film.
Great,
J'ai appris plein de
great
choses
presentation.
sur cette belle industrie que l'Occitane.
I've learned a lot about L'Occitane. I didn't know that you started on a market in Provence in 1976 and that your expansion has led you to cover the whole world. But you know that Cegid started off a long time ago. Do you know when? Well, before I joined, yes, long before you joined, because L'Occitane contacted us more than 15 years ago, and they challenged us, telling us, we have a global project, we don't know you, but we would like to try something. And would like to roll out 50 shops in Australia. So we did that thanks to some people that are still here in this room today. So thank you, because thanks to you, we have been able to make it. We went to Peru and we've been working with you for many years now. So we saw that in the video, the company has always known how to address challenges and to face demand. I understand that L'Occitane is transforming itself now. You're working on premiumization of the brand. Can you tell us more about this? Yes. Just so you know, the brand exists, well, is 50 years old today, created in 76. So today, L'Occitane en Provence is about 8,000 employees. We have 90 countries, 3,000 shops, including 1,200 of our own. So L'Occitane en Provence is the flagship brand of the group now. And about our strategy, we take the opportunity of our anniversary to promote further the brand through different things. First, our products. So we launch iconic brands, relaunch iconic brands. We heavily invest in our shops that will become more and more experience places. And we focus on customer experience, be that online or offline, in order for our clients to have a customized experience in all our point of sales. And in order to make the whole thing consistent and harmonize everything, our challenge is to have the same harmonized experience from Tokyo to New York. Great. So you will come up with more services, you will improve or work as a lab. The shops are going to be greatly focused on. You will step away from the product shop to the high-end experience area. So you'll have to train your teams to make them care professionals. And for Cegid, how do you want us to work with you in this strategic change? Well, as you said, Cegid has been working with us for many years, but our reality is that we do not have only one information system. We have as many information systems as we have countries or regions, because for 5 years, we've led each of them to develop their own customization, to add their own apps, which has generated, which has slowed down the further integration of the group. So we decided to come back to the standard to have a common ground for all our countries for the checkout part. And then, thanks to the teams that are here, we decided to revamp their customer relation. We decided to start off from the field, from the ground, and to have like a maison approach that brings together everything related to clienteling, knowledge of our customers based on our information, and to switch to live store for all the integrated data part. In order to come back to the basics, make the foundation stronger, and then we invest where it's the most relevant. Great. So you talked about the migration to on-prem to SaaS. So thanks to the team for that job. It's been a great job. Thanks a lot. We do not say that enough. But you came here for your first CCR also to talk about live store. So can you tell us how this works, this new process that you implemented on the stores? Well, I touched upon that, but I'm going to show you how that works. As you can see, right from the start, the first key element is to be able to identify the customer. So we have a very powerful and fast research that gives us all the information about this customer, their preferences, their favorite products, the last services they used, etc., which allows the beauty host to accompany her through that customer path to customize her experience. When we do so, the app allows us to scan the products, to add the promotions or reductions, etc., to manage all the available offers or promotions, and to log all the services the client will have access to during her experience. All of this allows us to prepare the basket, and once this is done and we get to the end of the experience, we switch to live store, and payment is done without having to go back to the cash register, and the client goes home with an experience that has been really smooth, fluid, without going through the cash register. Well, great. Well, you passed your test. So just to conclude, the team is here. There's a workshop for that, for you to see how we actually work, and you can ask as many questions as you want. Great. So before we move on and close this part, I have the same question for you in the room. How many apps do you have in your shops, including those of Cegid, those that you just mentioned, maybe apps from other companies, etc.? How many apps do you have in your shops? Too many. About 10 to 15. And the goal is to reduce that number. Yeah, we have 9, and we'd like to have less. Well, I think we're the worst. We have about 20 apps, but I have some representative from the Rocher Group here, and they do a great job to help us reduce that number. In the room here in the audience, how many of you have more than 5 apps in their shops? Okay, great. Well, gentlemen, you 3, and ladies and gentlemen in the room, what you're going to see is going to be highly interesting for you. Let's go. Thank you very much. Well, please welcome Olivier Kiono. Hi, Fred. Well, your colleague is not here, Laurent Terran. You almost always are together. I don't know if you remember him, but once you came here with a huge stuffed animal, like a marsupilami, there was a huge cash register. You were kind of Laurel and Hardy. Well, I think you mean I'm Hardy. Well, Bonnie and Clyde if you want, whatever. Jekyll and Jekyll, Bull and Bill. Well, please don't go through all of them. Okay, I think we get your point. Let's not focus on the past. Yeah, especially because present is really interesting. So what's new here? What's up? What innovations are you going to tell us about? Well, it's been hard for us to choose because we have more than 500 new functionalities that the Cegid team have delivered over the past 12 months. So all these innovations, all these functionalities are critical, are important, but they all have something in common. They all stem from the conversations that we had with you, be that in the headquarters, from the conversations that we had in the shops when we listened to the teams to understand their challenges, their frustrations, and also to have an idea of the amount of time they lose every day, because we just said that before. All of that concept of useless complexity. So let's have a look at this video now.
Every day, your teams show up, ready to serve, ready to sell. But before they can help a single customer, they're already lost in the tools. Too many apps, too many logins, too many moments of friction in a single experience. Imagine field teams working faster and more efficiently thanks to a single, consistent, and intuitive interface. Imagine a platform that adapts to the role of each sales assistant, store manager, or inventory manager on a single device. Imagine a built-in AI assistant that enhances the user experience by making it more autonomous, more efficient, and more relevant. Imagine a single in-store app that connects sales, stock operations, reporting, and much more in a seamless experience.
Well, very inspiring. Imagines here, imagine there. You can almost open a store on the moon to what it's all about. Well, we are here today and we launch a new solution for you, obviously, and this solution is going to answer or address what we saw in this video. I think you've prepared a demo for that. Well, yes. And guess who's going to do that? Laurent Théron, really? He's here. Great. So please welcome Laurent Théron and Sam Watson.
Salut Laurent. Sam.
Hi, Fred. Hi, everyone. I'm really thrilled to be here. We're great. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Sam, ready for a demo? Yes. Okay, so we'll stick to French. Yeah, you have a very poor English, so let's keep it to French. So before we dive into this demo, just a few words about the testimonials we've had from our CIOs. They told us they had up to 20 apps in their shops. So I think it's clear that we all agree to say that this many solutions only leads to complexity in the shops, which is a burden for the teams. So Cegid also has quite a few apps. We have many apps we can offer to improve your sale experience, to steer your shop experience, to manage stocks, to make your business flows easy. So the question is, what more could we bring or propose? Well, what we offer today is a connection between all these apps, a single interface that brings together all the apps through one single experience. What you see here, Abu, that's not an Occitan app that we downloaded from the store? Yeah, it's our own app that we customized to Occitan, which means that each brand will have the opportunity to customize their app with their own universe and graphic charter. Yeah, so that means we leave room for images, logos, colors, branding of our clients in this app. We know how important look and feel is when it comes to the user's experience, but we wanted to walk the extra mile by giving the possibility to customize further the app, taking into account their needs and use, because clearly a seller in a shop, a store manager or a stock manager don't have the same expectations and needs. Yeah, that's why we designed this interface with a brick and page system. So you can customize your dashboard, adding or removing a brick, but that also allows for the possibility to make things more consistent, simple, streamlined. So you've understood that this is an all-in-one solution. You have Cegid Retail Last Store, inventory tracking, store performance, store excellence, all in one single place. Okay, now we know that you have other apps, satellite apps, that evolve around the Cegid system. Good news, you'll be able to integrate those apps in our solution, be that clienteling app, loyalty program app, etc. And we started doing this with Booksy, that you may know, and that allows us to manage activities in a shop. I see some people frowning there when they listen to you. I guess some of those are like, yeah, it's just going to be another link to an external app and the user experience is going to be not great. Well, you may think that, but no, that's not what we offer. What we are going to give is a developer's kit. You will be able to develop external bricks with the possibility to integrate everything in the end, so you have like a consistent, harmonized interface. So these external tiles or bricks, as you call them, is what you see here in the center of the screen. And that will allow the seller to have access in real time, all the list of appointments they have for their day. And in this tile, the seller does not even see that, but you're actually dealing with an external tile. So you can create an appointment. You can also take the client, the product from the external tile and put it in the app basket. So it's 100% transparent for the user. They don't even see that they're working on another app. And that's very important, because that means less training, less errors, less frictions when you're on onboarding. And when you think of teams that are always recruiting new partners and having to train them, etc., this is something you can use from day one. So we already had good apps, live store, inventory tracking, store performance, etc. We've used module federation to have access to all your daily operations. So module federation is something that works both internally and externally, as we will see, but it's also something like a light architecture, where our app does not bear the weight of the external components. It goes and takes live what it needs to operate. But that's not all. Yes, we wanted to boost this app using AI. And I think you've all seen the AI assistant. What we wanted to do here, our goal was to have an omniscient AI agent always be next to our assistant, our seller. Well, you're using big words here, omniscient. Yeah, same word in French, just so you know. So what does that mean? Well, that means that a seller that just got in a shop will never, ever be alone anymore. they will be able to ask any question and get answers right away. You can ask them to execute some operations on your behalf. You can ask, the assistant to give you a morning brief. And that's going to be something that they will be able to use right away. And they will have the same amount of knowledge as the best of your sellers, and this from day one. And that's not all. There's yet, to be seen. We've covered it all. We've tried. Fred is still using paper and pen, but the more, senior generation, and we still have them in the shops. But so it's going to be something else for him to prompt the assistant compared to other generations, the younger ones that are used to, dealing with ChatGPT or do prompts, etc. But whether you're one or the other, you'll be able to use our app just the same. So when you have a question, the AI agent, is going to give me an answer about a customer with their loyalty points, experience, etc. But you can also mix the different uses that you want to make from this interface. You can prompt on your keyboard, or you can scan a ticket or a product in the chat, and the agent will let me know how much stock we have for this product, in which shop there's such or such product, when I'm going to get some more, etc. Where the products are, whether they're being delivered or etc. I can have access to all the sales stats. You can ask the assistant about the loyalty cards of the clients, etc., etc. Is that all? Yeah, well, so in a nutshell, this is like a super app with a super AI agent that can answer any question from a user, and then to have access to all the information they need to give you the best answer. The agent also gives you relevant options based on the client you have or the product that you're talking about. And then once everything is done, you just have to finish off the sale. And for me, yes, we can wrap it up by saying that we are really proud to show this new solution, because at the end of the day, we always come back to our core business. Sales is about the seller, the client, and the sale. So you've seen that we are ready, but are
you ready?
Well, congrats once again. Great, Sam, and congrats, Laurel. Well, thank you. Well, it makes sense. That's the only thing I can say. Of course it does. This new solution that we propose today, is really part of our product strategy. First, gives you a platform that you can easily customize depending on the needs of your shops or brands, and you can operate it in real time with all the solutions that are integrated. It's user-friendly. I hope you've seen that. It's safe, it's international, and you can make an intelligent use of AI with this. Now, the question is, what's the name of this app? It doesn't have a name yet. We have wanted to not give it a name yet for you to do so. So with this QR code, you will get to see that QR code in the different spaces that you will see today. You have until tonight to come up with a name. And tomorrow, during the plenary, we will show you the name that has been chosen, and will reward some people for choosing the right name, or the one that will be chosen. So please flash this QR code, and then your turn now. Well, it's the first time I see that kind of process. It's very interesting. One last word, Olivier? Yeah. We would like you to remember that this new solution is a key step, but it's only a step. We also want you to discover many other innovations in all the workshops in the Cegid Information Store, but also to help us build the next ones using AI for your teams to benefit from those. Well, I think we've said it all. So thank you very much once again, Sam, Olivier. Big round of applause for all of them. Let's continue our journey through the new visions. So now I'm going to ask Natalie to come back on stage to welcome our next guest. So who is our next speaker? Well, before I let you know, just have a look at the Luxury International Group that he stands for.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you. Then please give a warm welcome to the Chief Information Officer of the LVMH Group, Mr. Frank Lemoyle. Let's take a seat. Yeah, we can make anything happen. Have you seen that? So thank you very much, Frank, for being with us today. Could you tell us where your tech transformation is at the moment? Oh, it's a big splash to start with. We've only got 15 minutes, though. So we're investing a lot in tech, as you know, and have been for the last 5 or 6 years. This has been speeding up, and I think tech is a strategic driver for companies now. For the 75 fantastic maisons in this group, it helps us be more effective and efficient, and at the same time, we do that in our own way. And as I often say, we are not a technological company, but we've been investing in technology so that we can support all our different aspects of the business. Our expertise, as you've seen this wonderful testimony of all our expertise there in the video, and we're proud of all of that. So we use it for our creative designers, for our teams, for our sales teams. And I think that what sets our group apart is that we use it for excellence of French expertise as well as the other side of the pond in America, and to make our customers' experience the most beautiful possible. And I think there are about 4 million people in the LVMH group at the moment. And this is a significant level of investment. And this technology is used for the whole of the value chain, both in advance in our workshops, in our jewelry creators, in our warehouses, in our stores. Our technical transformation is transforming the whole of the value chain. And we're not the only ones doing that, I'm sure. We're retailers, but before that, we're designers, we're manufacturers, we're producers, and tech is supporting the whole of this value chain now with our own approach, because we have invented the word of quiet tech. So the most smoothest technology possible for our customers, which is sophisticated. Thank you very much, Frank. So if we could talk about Cegid just for a moment as well, what place do we have within all of these IT systems? You have a very significant place. As you know, Cegid is a very important partner for us, and it's a significant partner. I think we're talking about 20 different houses which use and work with Cegid solutions, and there are several different ones, and we'll talk about those. 2,000 stores that use Cegid. We're talking of 6,000 stores overall. So it's, I think, 4,500 different positions using that. And this idea of this application, I'm delighted to see this. And we'll talk about this a bit later in any case. So you are a very important partner for us. You're a global partner. LVMH is a worldwide operation in China, in the US, in Latin America, in Europe. So we need a global partner. You're also a strategic partner for us. And I can see that you're becoming more and more so. And we can all agree here that a retail solution today is the biggest asset. It provides the turnover, the sales, that's a very important aspect. But as well as that, it provides customer insights. It helps the resilience and the performance of the various solutions. And you have a very significant part to play because you're currently going through a transformation. Cegid today and Cegid over the coming years will not be the same as what we've seen in the past. And that's very interesting to see. You've moved towards SaaS, you move towards the cloud. So you're currently becoming a high-scale partner, a bit like our technical partners, a partner who is at the same strategic level as Salesforce, SAP, Google Cloud, and Anthropic, because a new generation of partners coming through with them as well. So we have high expectations for you. We're very demanding, and it works well. And we rely on strong, solid partnerships. You need to do your job as best you can, as you do, and work with your partners so that we can work at a global level together. Thank you very much for that. So over and above the front-end applications in store, what core projects are you running at the moment? We have 5 key concerns in terms of technology today. It might seem surprising to you in this room because I was listening to what was said in the opening speech this afternoon. We're looking at the rise in the digital approach and an omni-channel approach. And I think we've invested a lot in this approach at LVMH. And we're currently taking a break with that because we've invested a lot in that. And we have 5 major areas we're investing in now. The first one is back to stores. We are retailers. We have some of the most beautiful locations worldwide, some of the most stunning stores worldwide. So we're bringing customers back to this relationship with sales assistants in stores so that they can experience the sophistication of our products, the beautiful stores, and this amazing experience that they can have in stores. We're back to retail, which is connected to the omnichannel approach, digital approach. As we said earlier, we can't build high-performance retail without a very solid background of foundations. We're investing in supply chain, industrial performance, upstream elements, because our customers are expecting fantastic products which are made from traceable products. Retail is a complicated world at the moment. We need to be very agile. We need to be responsive. We need to forecast. We need to be able to reallocate stock, change stock, work in depth, work on feedback. We can't do that without having a solid foundation. And the third important issue is data and AI. And we'll be able to talk about that. That was my next question anyway. It's perfect segue. And the last item is that retail has gone through a major crisis over the last 18 months. A huge number of retailers have been impacted by cybersecurity. So resilience and cyber protection is a key topic here. There was a survey 2 years ago about data breaches. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands here. I mean, we could be raising our own hand because we're affected by that. But the last point I'd like you to bear in mind is that we're seeing a new world, brand new world, coming to play. It's technological geopolitics. We have China retreating, becoming more inward-looking. We can see things that are taking place between the US and Europe. So we need to have partners who can support us through this geopolitical uncertainty. So when we look at the super apps or the one app solution that are meant to make for a seamless solution and help staff in stores, what's your perspective on that? Well, we can only be satisfied with that. For our group, we have 60,000 sales assistants throughout the world. And we have too many applications. We have 60,000 sales assistants with an iPhone. And we need to go to this idea of a one-stop app because this enables the teams to be more effective. And we want experiences in store to be as smooth as possible. We don't want queues at the till, particularly when you're in a luxury store. Sales teams need to be supporting their customers to tell a story, to interact appropriately. And that means that our sales teams need the best applications, providing the best experiences possible based on the best information. And like everybody else, I think that we have about 8 to 12 different applications running. It's very complicated running a store, very complicated. Understanding your stock flows, your customers, and when you're in a store, you maybe have 60,000 different references coming. You need to know all your products. So we have several different applications today, and I think it's very important to reduce the number of applications. We need to have clienteling, transactions, efficiency in the stores, efficiency in terms of back office. And we've started doing this in some of our houses. Celine has done some amazing work with their own applications. Tiffany has been working with you as well. So we're working in the right direction. I think the last point that you have already mentioned, this has been disrupted by the increasing power of agents and the simplest application, which is enhanced by agents and agentic AI, which can facilitate all these different types of interaction, is the future of sales. And in the luxury industry, it will enable us to provide the best possible experiences to our customers, both before, during, and after. And that's key in a very complex market. Yes, we're at the beginning of the journey, but I think we've put our finger there on the problems and challenges ahead. And you talk a lot about scaling up at LVMH in a complex market, as well as the diverse range of houses that you have. How do you manage that? Well, we need to operate at scale, and that's why we need partners who can support us with that. And that means having global solutions which are streamlined. That's the first thing. They need to be able to be resilient at an international level. And we're happy to have the cloud dashboard now for that. It's much easier to track the situation. That's new. And you've been listening to your customers and what they need, and that's very important. So operating at scale means we need to have solutions that are based on technological reality in China that we can use in the States, and that we can imagine this new situation with sovereignty. So these tools need to be easy to track, because when you're working in retail, you need to track your sales 24/7. And I think as you're doing, and I think we've been working together for 20 odd years now, I think you're taking this path, made a lot of progress. Thank you very much, Frank. It's great. And it's important to say so. We're progressing as well. We're making progress. We're all making progress together. And I think what's important today for a retail solution is that even if you're developing something that you haven't yet named in terms of a revolutionary app, we need to have solutions with modular architecture, with API performance. And what's going to be happening with agentic AI is going to be agent to agent. Well, these are important topics. We need to scale up and have these partners supporting us. And we need support services that will be there 24/7. And of course, for us operating at scale, as a decentralized group, means looking at a global tech strategy, streamlining our houses, and the specific nature of our houses doesn't come from the technical side. It comes from the products. It comes from the magic of the brand. It comes from the management teams. So we're harmonizing and streamlining all these different solutions so we're more effective. Because when you're working with Vuitton and Akuba, we need to work together, because not everybody has the same means. But in the end, we're looking at the best possible experience for customers. Time is flying. I have a prompter there. We haven't got long left. It's amazing how time flies. If you had a message you'd like to say in conclusion to our audience, what would it be? I don't have a particular message, but I think that our environment is very complex. Retail is being transformed, particularly when you work internationally. We need to have the best possible partners. We need to be able to adapt. Data is revolutionizing the situation, as is agentic AI. So we need to be able to invest in this area. At the same time, for a certain number of our brands, retail is key. Sales teams are key, so we need to equip them as well as possible so they can interact with our customers as effectively as possible. So let's continue investing in retail. Find the right powerful partners. Let's be agile in terms of integrating agentic AI. We're certainly embracing that. Within our own value system, these agentic AI needs to be there to support us, not to replace us, especially in the luxury industry. We're not going to be replacing our creative teams or designers or our sales teams and our call centers. But this revolution needs to bring together simplicity, ergonomics, user-friendliness, safety, security, so that we can provide the best possible experience to our customers. Thank you very much for that conclusion, Frank. Once again, thank you very much for being with us today. I know you have a busy schedule, so we are delighted that you've been able to be here with us for these 2 days. And I'm sure when you go back to the room, there'll be more questions for you. Well, I'm delighted to be here because there's some former colleagues here, Massimo there, Mirko as well. So it's always a delight to chat to peers about these topics. Thank you for your invitation. Thank you very much to you. Let's applaud Frank then. Thank you very much, Frank. So, to conclude, we're at the end of our first part now at this plenary session. So what's next? So some logistics. So before moving on to the workshops and the other spaces that have been prepared for you, a little reminder. Here are the workshops. There are lots of different ones. In French, in English, over 2 days. Some of them will be happening more than once, particularly the super app one. And so we need to be taking inspiration to find a new name there. So several different spaces you'll be able to work on that. And then there are 3 experiential spaces, one called the Customer Experience Center. So the teams here will be working on customer satisfaction, so they'll be expecting your feedback there. So you can help us with some insights there so that we can make progress. Our customers are exacting and we want to make progress there, but we need your feedback to do that. So what's going well and what can be improved. There's another space, which is the innovation store, which we've rebuilt. And there was one bit that used to be closed. It was the orange door, and it was called AI in Action. I don't know whether anybody ever managed to open up and have a look. So this is an immersive experience, and you have to sign up for it. It's not open to everybody. The open bar's for tonight. So you have to sign up. And then when you go through that door, you'll enter into an immersive world. So try it out, sign up, and you'll see. We're not going to tell you any more now. Go and try it out for yourselves. And you have to sign up so that everybody can have a chance to experience that. And then we have a space dedicated to our ecosystem, our partners village. So thank you very much to all our partners for being here and who regularly come to our connection meetings. And without our partners, we couldn't receive you and host you in these great conditions. And of course, a Cegid connection wouldn't be a Cegid connection without an evening event. So some information about tonight. The shuttle bus will be taking you to an incredible place. We're not going to tell you any more about it yet. It will be leaving at 7 p.m. At 2 minutes past 7, you've missed the evening. So 7 p.m. in the entrance to the hotel, in the lobby. It's not the one on the top floor, it's the one on the ground floor. So make sure in the lobby on the ground floor. I think they've understood, Fred, don't worry. Yeah, but then there's always somebody who makes the mistakes, turns up at 8 and says, where's the shuttle bus? So people will be shuttled back up to 1 a.m. from 11:30 to 1 a.m. So this first plenary session is now coming to a close. One last thing. It's the theme for tonight. It's a biker theme. No, it's not. It's black tie themed. So long dresses and black tie. And then some of you thinking, oh, I didn't bring my dress. So black tie for tonight. And the place we're going to is absolutely unique. So thank you very much. Go and enjoy the immersive experiences in the workshops and a cup of coffee. Thank you very much.